Good morning, girls. How are you again? Hope you are all fine. In this week, we'll continue chapter 13, and today we have lesson 2, add and subtract fractions with denominators of 10 and 100. Look at the title, denominators of 10 and 100. What does that mean? Remember the last lesson before. We have learned in the last lesson how to write tenths and hundredths. So denominators of 10, it means all the fractions that are out of 10. And hundredths, all the fractions that are out of hundredths, right? So these fractions, tenths and hundredths, we will use them today to add or even subtract. Let's go. As you see here, I just want to remind you about the tenths and hundredths. We said that the tenths are all the fractions that is out of 10, like 1/10, 16 tenths, right? And the hundredths are 35 hundredths and 100th, without S, 100th, because it's only one. So here we will use these types of fractions to add or subtract. But before that, I just want to remind you about one point. That is how to convert the tenths into hundredths. We have learned this in the last lesson, 13.1. Do you remember? Chapter 13, lesson 1. We have learned how to convert the tenths into hundredths. So let's take, for example, this fraction. 16 out of 10. How can we convert it into a fraction that is out of 100? What we said, remember, girls. We just multiplied both numerator and denominator by 10. Why by 10? Because the 10 times 10 equals 100. So we will multiply both the numerator and denominator by 10 to get the new fraction that is equal to tenths. Okay, the fraction will be out of 100. So what is it? 16 multiplied 10, it's 160. So this is the fraction, the equivalent fraction to the 16 tenths, right? Remember this point, girls. Today, in our lesson for adding and subtracting, we will use this point. First, make sure that you know how to convert the tenths into hundredths by multiplying by 10. Remember this point because we will use it in our lesson for today. Look at here. Here we have fractions. 4 out of 10 or 4 hundredths plus 33 hundredths. As you see here, you can notice that to add the fractions, we know this note that we have to find the same denominators, right? As you see here, 100 and here denominator is 100. So now I'm sure of my denominators that are the same or equal. So I can add them easily. Remember, girls, all the lessons are depending on each other. How we add fractions, how we added the fractions, we just add the numerators together and we keep the denominator as it. So let's add 4 and 33. It will be 37, right? So this is the way how I add fractions with same denominators. Let's see here again. As you see here, we have same denominators, but they are tenths. Both of them are tenths. So 10 and 10, I will write it here, 10. Never change. But I will add the numerators. It will be 7, right? So from here, we should go to our lesson. As you see here, 7 out of 10 plus 13 out of 100. What can you notice here, girls? We said before, to add two fractions, we should have them the same denominators. But look at here, 10 and here is 100. So the denominators are different. And you know this note that to add fractions, we should have same denominator. Same denominator. So how can I change this into same denominators? Okay. Look at here. This is 7 out of 10. And we have learned how to convert any fraction out of 10 or the tenths into hundredths. So this one easily can change itself into hundredths. How is that? Do you remember the last lesson? We just multiply each numerator and denominator by 10. So I will write it in another place. Okay, 7 out of 10. I will convert it into hundredths because I want to make it like this fraction out of 100. Okay, so 7 out of 10, it will be 70 out of 100, right? Why? Because simply I multiplied both the numerator and denominator by 10. So 70 out of 100. So this is the fraction that will add it to 13 out of 100. So 70 out of 100 plus 13 out of 100. You know that the denominators stay the same, and we will add only what? Numerators. This is 13. So you will add ones together and hundreds together. The 0 with the 3, the 7 with the 1. So, see girls, my fraction will be out of 100 after converting it. Okay. The same thing, we will do it in subtraction. Exactly the same. Look at this note. To subtract two fractions, we should have the same denominator. Also, we should have the same. Okay, so look at 7 out of 10. It will be converted into what? So, 7 out of 10, I will convert it into out of 100. So, multiply by 10. Multiply by 10, it will be 70 out of 100. This fraction, I will take it in my example. So 70 out of 100 minus this one comes down as it because it's already out of 100. So 2 out of 100. So what is the answer that I will have? 70. For sure the denominator is the same. 70 minus 2, it's what? 68. This is my fraction. Did you see, girls? It's so easy and simple. Just check the denominators that are the same, then we will do the addition or subtraction for the numerators. Look at here. Here we have this example, 4 out of 10 plus 33 out of 100. As you see, we should convert this into hundredths. So I will multiply also by 10. And here by 10. So it will be what? 40 out of 100. Just simply add it to this one. Plus 33 out of 100. What I will have? The denominator is the same, and we will just add the numerators. So here the answer is 3, and here we have 7. The answer is 73 out of 100, right? So as you see here, a written example. This is the one we did. Just remember here the first note. We just first have to compare to convert the 10 into 100. Then we will add or subtract for sure the numerators. Then the denominators will be out of 100, never change, as we said. Let's do one more example about subtraction. 23 out of 100 minus 1 out of 100. 1 out of 10 or 1/10. So this one need to change. I will change the color. So here this one will be what? Let's work with it. 1 out of 10. How to change it into out of 100? Simply times 10 times 10. So it will be 1 times 10, 10 out of 100. So we will go to our example, 10 out of 100. And we will put this down as it. Never switch the places. Each one will go in its place. So 23 out of 100. Simply 3 minus 0, 3, 2 minus 1 is 1, and the denominator will not change. Did you see? So simple and easy. One more example. 81 out of 100 minus 4 out of 10. Try to do it, girls, by yourself. This need to convert to make it as 100. So 81 out of 100, it will stay in its place. But this one need, okay, what is it? 4 out of 10. How to convert it into 100? Just multiply by 10, by 10. 4 times 10, 40 out of 100. We will go to our example, 40 out of 100. For sure, the denominator is the same, and we will minus 1s together and 10s together. So this is my fraction, 41 out of 100. Did you see? We just check the denominator and convert the 10th into hundredths and do the addition and subtraction. So remember these notes. When adding or subtracting, we should have same denominators. If denominators not equal, we should make them the same. Then we will change the tenths into hundredths to do the addition or subtraction, sure, by multiplying by 10. By the way, girls, you can write these notes in your secret corner. Okay, girls, so see you next time.